Hello everybody, here we are again. It is another day in Florida. It's like 91 degrees, threatening to rain, and we never seem to get this rain. It's been a busy, what's it been? It's probably been about 5 days since our last video. We got new stuff coming in, some interesting stuff. We've also only
We'll get to see that in a little bit. Not now, in a little bit.
Okay. Also got one, only one or two counterfeits that I caught that I gave back to people. They keep coming in. The price of silver and gold. Gold today hit 4,050 at around 6 in the morning. Silver was at 50.50 at one time. That's a record high. 50.50 for silver. It never hit that high before. And then there was some profit taking. Pieces breaking out, hopefully. We'll see. Gold pulled back some, about $60 from the high, about 75. It's about 39.75 right now. Silver's at 49.37.
So with your experience in this guy, being through the cycle a few times, do you think we're at our peak now on the silver and gold?
No, this is a totally different animal. I see this as a totally different animal. There are world events. I was reading an article about a catch-up for silver and gold. I still believe this, $40 for silver minimum and $4,000 for gold. That's just catching up to what inflation is for everything in the world. You can't look at miners working for the same price 20 years ago or even 10 years ago as now. Inflation has increased everything. And this is where it is. There's going to be, I think I had said that silver was going to be 50 by Halloween. Well, it hit 50, by the 8th of October. So I'm thinking probably 60 now by Christmas. And I was talking to my son, and he mentioned he thinks 5,000 is baked in on gold. My goodness. I bought a couple of gold coins today. I sold one. The money's getting tighter. I'm spending a lot more money than I'm selling. A lot of people are selling, and I don't blame them. The numbers taking some profit off the table. But in the long run, I think there's a consolidation of where silver and gold is going, and paper money is getting to be a little iffy around the world.
Do you feel like gold will hit at a point that you'll see a majority of buyers just dropping out and they're just going to be selling? Or do you feel like even though it keeps climbing up, say it makes it up to the $6,000 mark, you think there'll still be buyers at that price point?
I hope so. I hope so. The banks might be the ones buying. That's what they've been saying too. I read an article about China has taken in how many metric tons of gold for like the 11th month in a row. They're buying it up. What is the master plan there? Gold and silver, it's not so much silver, because I was selling silver back in 2011 when it had hit 50. Gold at 2000 was selling at 4,000. You don't have people walking and say, hey, you got 8 ounces. Hey, you got 10 ounces. It isn't 1,000 an ounce anymore. It's serious numbers. I mean, you buy 8 ounces of gold, it's like buying a new car. You're looking at $32,000. I mean, the numbers are big. And unfortunately, the average person gets dealt out of the game. They're buying fractional gold. That's the only thing they can do. Or they buy silver. I mean, I still got phone calls for $9.99. I sold some today. I bought a bunch of silver dollars today. I bought some odds and ends. I bought some interesting stuff on Tuesday. Estates still come in. That's what we have. Do you want to see the coins I bought?
Yeah, let's talk about what's new in the shop. So what's new in the shop?
So we'll hold back this one.
Yeah, we'll hold that one. That one's the secret one.
I've got coins from the 16th century, the 17th century, the 18th century, 19th century. So we've got stuff 1900, 1799, 1690, 1587. That's cool stuff. I mean, it's amazing how in 1587, you know, everybody was running through the woods in the Americas, and these German, I'll give them that, boy, they had the technology. They made a solid, round, nice-looking coin when most of the United States was wilderness and mud. You know, I don't know if there were many brick buildings.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I mean, you know, maybe there's a little bit of similarities there between those. Just saying.
Well, it's just the imaging has always been that kind of an idea. This is from Indochina. This is Indochina. See, the dollar just came in. See, the dollar came in, but I also got a trade dollar. We didn't tear it in right on there. Yeah, that's a trade dollar. And this, of course, is a piece of 8, the Mexican piece of 8, 1799. A comparable dollar U.S., you know, in a fine is probably $1,200. And we got one of the legendary key dates that came in today.
Oh yeah, this is
I bought that about 3 hours ago. 1889, Carson City. Very collectible, VG, nice and easy. You know, there's no brainstorming of it. It ain't $3,000, but it'll fill a hole in a book, and you can buy it pretty reasonable. I'm not talking prices on how much I'm selling silver anymore because the numbers are just floating all the time. The numbers, you gotta, you know, at the time if we close a deal, that'll be the price at the time. I mean, I've picked up about 60 more generic silver dollars in the last, this week, okay? About 60 more generic ones. I don't want to give you a price. If you're ready to buy, we'll talk then. Of course, it becomes, you know, credit card, what are we doing? And then the shipping. Shipping can run into problems. Depends where you are, you know, in cost of shipping. The most interesting piece we got was a Leicester dollar. Nathan will show you this. This is a very modest price. We saw one sell for $3,000 that was a VF35. This is PCGS AU53 CAC. I mean, these coins are rare. It's less than, it says here that there's less than 550, and that's in 2008. That's of all different types. There's like 19 different varieties. So if you pull that string out, maybe there's 20 of every one. I don't know. They're pretty famous. They're like so-called dollars. They were up there in Crooked Creek, up in Colorado. This is where they circulated. This man was a miner and a rancher, and they're made of silver. They don't look it. They're all octagon, and they were to replace. There was a shortage of money, and they made these Leicester dollars. One man's vision, it says. You'll get this paper with it if you buy it. Private citizen took upon himself to make his own currency, and they're pretty famous, pretty well known. So I thought I'd show that out there. This woman also had a really nice. She had a Lafayette dollar. Thinking of 64. The same person who sold me this. This one I showed. That's a pretty, you know, antietam.
This is gorgeous, guys.
It's PCGS.
Oof, oof, oof.
Yeah, nice, flashy, a lot of life. That's like I told him with this, because she had 2 other coins. I said, I want the Lafayette dollar or the Fugio cent. I said, those 2 I'd like. I said, and then she had a, what was the other one she had? Hawaiian. She had a 1829 Hawaiian dollar. I don't come in contact, very expensive coin, $3,000-$4,000. I told her the truth. I said, I'm not really crazy about that one. It was certified and it was like a 64, but it was pretty ugly. I just didn't have the eye appeal. But this has the appeal because it's rare. You know, when you're looking at something with maybe 500 known, and it's got its own history. So that's, what we show, and this is available. Call us. Everything here is available for sale. It's been another wild week. I'm running out of cash every day. People need money. That's where we are. The rest of the world carries on. I'm waiting for us to get out of hurricane season so I can, breathe a sign of relief here. Anything else?
Well, what do we have coming up next, Guy? We coming up at the end of the week, right? We're doing a whatnot, correct?
We got a whatnot on Saturday at 6 p.m. We're going to have 50 items.
Well, let's give them a little sneak peek, why don't we?
Yeah, this is part of it. This is stuff that I glean out of collections I buy. A lot of Morgan dollars, a couple of Peace dollars. These are not official certified, but the grades on them is what I give them. This may say Unc, but I don't agree. But these are nice. They're all over the place. Here's a coin. I'm familiar with these people. I think every coin they ever put out was always in a 66. I guesstimate this to be a 63. If that was a 6, it'd be $700. But we got a bunch of, and then of course you got the silver. There's about $40 in every one of those coins just in silver. Christmas is coming. That's a theme I'm going to keep pushing. I got a couple of small gold pieces. I'm going to add to this. I got a Canadian dollar, but I'll add something to that. We got some fantasy notes. We got 5 7s, you got 5 2s, a whole bunch of this kind of stuff. And then I'll put together more silver. The 3-piece bicentennial 40% silver set. Not to be overlooked, there's over $20 in silver in this set. It's things like that. This is a hard to find half dollar. I think I just picked up the 21S. I believe that's the first year, the 20S, the first year of the 999 silver that was put in proof sets.
Well, hey, looks, guys, let's just show off what other stuff we have
Right
here.
there.
Oh, we got it. Hold on, let's get over to it.
I just got this. Gray Sheet has that at 115. I didn't have the heart.
Oh, Proof 70 Ultra Cameo.
Proof 70 Ultra Cameo 999 silver. Not 90%. This is
right there.
Yep. That's when they started making the proof sets. And of course, in concert with that, all the proof sets went up also. I don't want to talk about the concert at the Super Bowl. What else we got?
Let's see. Well, we talked about that. No shows coming up that we're doing.
Our show is coming up.
November.
Our show will be November 8th, Joan of Arc Church. 4 weeks. 4 weeks, I guess, from this Saturday. 4 weeks from Saturday. I'll be there. Come and see us. And
right
as
up
new
front.
stuff comes in and new events happen, I didn't see any articles to pull. There was nothing I thought very interesting. But what comes in the store is interesting. That's why I love the game. A shout out to my niece's boyfriend who found a person who got lost out there in New Jersey woods, and he was what was he? He was a Boy Scout. Eagle Scout. And he said, let me look where all these police are searching and couldn't find him. He went into the woods and he found him. He had a radio in for the people to come get him because the guy couldn't walk out. So they come in, pulled them all out. And now I found out he's covered in poison ivy. So you got an Eagle Scout who did the right thing. Shout out to you. You're a hero there.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. But he found this guy lost in the woods, which is pretty cool. So we sent him a couple of T-shirts. I said, when everybody comes to interview you, I want you to wear that Coin Guy shirt. No pun intended. God bless America.
Well,
Great.
also another thing, though, is I don't think we've talked about it is on video is, what's your brother up to?
He's running for governor of Pennsylvania.
So anybody in Pennsylvania, look up John Ventry.
John Ventry.
Oh.
But God bless America, greatest country in the world. Thank you.
Till next time, guys.
Yep.